animation is finally released. And who am I kidding? We all knew this would be bad. Is anyone surprised? I mean, a single person. I made a video just reacting to the first trailer and knew this would be an absolute butchering. And why is that? Well, not just because it's Amazon, and we all know from Rings of Power and various other shows they made that they really don't care about the source material of any series, franchise, no matter how beloved. I mean, if they didn't care about Lord of the Rings, they sure as hell were not going to care about Fallout. But not just that, we know Bethesda doesn't care about Fallout, at least the lore, the canon, anything that they weren't directly involved with, and honestly, in some cases, even some of their older...
Okay, this guy is so fucking stupid because it is, one, very lore accurate, and two, is, I believe, very well received from the fan base. I mean, I am a part of the fan base as well, but like, I know that because I'm a leftist, my opinions don't matter, but I'm pretty sure it was broadly celebrated by the fan base for good reason, because it's phenomenal. It actually is really fucking good. This guy is chirping about something that is not even real. Like, he's just upset because I assume there are too many DEI hires or something, because the show is fucking awesome. It is pretty funny though to claim that you're a fan of the Fallout series and then get mad that it's like woke. You're just not a fan of the Fallout series if you are upset about it being woke, because that's what the whole series is about. It's literally about nuclear apocalypse and how monstrous we are even before the nuclear apocalypse, and how that monstrosity in us still carries after the nuclear apocalypse. It is anti-capitalist and anti-militarist. You are just missing the point and making it everybody else's problem. Once again,
games, they don't care about continuity in the least bit. Now, for the sake of maintaining relevancy, I'm only going to review the first episode in this video, and I'll review the whole season next week. Every single episode dropped at the same time, so on the one hand, that's totally a good thing, because this will be gone and forgotten in no time flat, because I don't think...
He's already made up his mind after one episode that it sucks, and he's already excited for it to be long and forgotten. Well, guess what, dumbass? Season 2 was already fucking greenlit, and it's a banger. It received critical acclaim. Literally, it got people reinvested in the franchise. It's reaching peak on Steam. Not even, but this is before we think about like everywhere else you can play the games. You're a fucking idiot.
Anyone who's a real fan of Fallout is going to consider this canon, especially because of all of the retcons, inconsistencies. It's obvious the showrunners didn't give a single shit about the Fallout universe, yet Todd Howard said this is canon. I fucking hate Todd Howard at this point. I don't care if he's not directly involved with any of Bethesda's projects and he's basically just a glorified salesman, the face of the company. Doesn't matter. He's still taking the fucking blame. So before I start spoiling everything in the intro, we might as well just get into the breakdown. So episode 1...
Okay, I'll be honest, the Todd Howard part is true. Todd Howard does suck. That's the one broken clock moment that I will give this fucking dumbass YouTube essayist. Todd Howard does indeed suck. Todd has just been the face and not related to creative decisions for ages, to be fair. Yeah, Todd Howard sucks, just not because of the show. This show is good in spite of Todd Howard. Yeah, Steam sales went up like 7,500% in the last 2 weeks. Yeah, the only bad part about this show, unironically, is that it's like renewed interest in Fallout 76 ultimately allows Todd to carry that on as a W, and I hate that. And I would hate for people to actually have their first experience with the Fallout genre and have that be Fallout 76. That actually does make me sad. All right, let's continue.
Begins in 2077, right before the bombs drop. We see Walton Goggins playing one of the main characters, the Ghoul. Yes, they literally call him the Ghoul when there are thousands of ghouls at minimum in the Fallout universe. He is the Ghoul. But as of right now, he is Cooper Howard, a Marine veteran who is famous for...
Wait, what? I don't know if they know this, but there are so many other ghouls in the universe. If you had watched more than one episode, and you already readily admit that there are more episodes available, you would have noticed that there are other ghouls. There's not just one ghoul, bro.
Something. I don't think they explained it in this scene, but they imply he played some kind of cowboy character. I don't know if it's for commercials or military propaganda. And now he just does birthday parties for alimony payments. And I find this even more funny because his kid is mixed race. So his black wife divorced him, and now he plays fucking birthday parties. How black-pilling is that? And at the risk of getting a shit ton of dislikes from normies, just like...
I'm sorry. What does her being black have to do with the possible divorce? Why? Like, did I misunderstand something? Did I miss something? He was just like, classic. He brought it back to... He actually went back to the 1830s, bro. Unlike Taylor Swift, this dude is in the 1830s. He's like, a black wife? What's next, dude? You're gonna tell me gay people exist?
More funny because his kid is mixed race. So his black wife divorced him, and now he plays fucking birthday parties. How black-pilling is that? And at the risk of getting a shit ton of dislikes from normies, just like my review of the first episode of The Last of Us, I find this even more funny because if you know anything about marriage statistics, you would know that white male, black female actually has the lowest divorce rates. So,
bro, why do you have that?
Know that white male, black female actually...
Why do you have that statistic ready to go, bro? What is going on? Is this still a Fallout review? Bro, I don't know what the fuck. My man is reviewing interracial divorce rates. That's a thing? What conversation do you have with people ever in your life where you're like, hold up, let me pull out my interracial divorce rates spreadsheet? Now, of course, I don't know if this guy doesn't know this or not, but bear with me here. This is going to be really interesting. The Fallout universe is a fictional one that is tailored our universe, but it's a totally separate universe. In our world, the Reds in America didn't fight and actually end up in nuclear holocaust, nor did we have advanced technology before then.
So in a way, you could almost say this is anti-propaganda, but I still think it's promoting race mixing, as basically every show...
Okay, come on. There's no way YouTube is like, wait, he just actually unironically said promoting race mixing. Hello? We're 3 minutes in, bro. Bro, we're 3 minutes in. This has 262,000 views, 11,000 likes. Why do people feel so comfortable saying shit like this? I genuinely don't get it.
Show on television does. You know, for as woke as video games are these days, TV and movies blow the gaming industry out of the water. Basically, every streaming show I've tried to watch with my mother has had some form of propaganda in it, and usually multiple types, whether it's race-related, gender-related, LGBT-related, it's usually all of the above. But anyway, getting back to Fallout. The rich guy who's hosting the birthday party calls Walton Goggins a communist because he won't stick his thumb up in reference to the supposed safe distance from a nuclear bomb, implying that Walton Goggins opposes the war with China. Nothing really comes of this. This whole scene is obviously supposed to give you an idea what the retro future culture of 2077 looks like, but if a modern Marxist rewrote history and added diversity everywhere. Now, it's not like in the original Fallout games, all the characters...
Is that him? No.
Characters were white, but there's something uncanny about this whole thing. We'll put it at that. I'm not going to make a huge deal over it. So anyway, shortly after the first nuke drops on LA, the rich guy punches his black friend, not letting him in their fallout shelter, and Walton Goggins rides off on a horse with his daughter on the back, as if you could fucking outrun a nuke. They literally just told us in the previous scene the safe distance is the size of a thumb. I think
the whole point is that the safe distance size of a thumb thing is also false. That's not even correct.
Now, this takes place after all of the games, and more importantly, 15 years after Fallout New Vegas. You're gonna want to remember that, considering this takes place on the West Coast. So now we meet our true protagonist, Lucy, a resident of Vault 33, which I guess was another control vault. Either that or it's some kind of multi-vault experiment. As they fail to adequately explain in the show, Vault 31, 32, and 33 are all directly connected to each other.
What do you mean failed to adequately explain, dumbass? You watched only one episode. Perhaps maybe watch the whole first season where they do actually explain in detail. It's just called a slow reveal, dumbass. Bro just watched one episode and started chirping at the first sight of a black person. How are these people real? I feel like this is just like a meme personified. You know what I mean? This is the meme about like the genuine racist neckbeard. He both demonstrated that he plays these fucking video games in his basement, is just gross overall, and is genuinely hyperventilating at the prospect of black people existing in 2077, and has gotten mad, openly mad, at race mixing promotion.
And so Lucy is applying for an arranged marriage with one of the other vaults. They show off all of her various skills. And of course, she just so happens to be good at basically everything. Definitely not Mary Sue, guys. And of course, she gets approved. We find out her father is the overseer. Her younger brother is this tiny, huge-nosed, cowardly, incompetent
What is a Mary Sue? Is that like a term? It's a self-insert. It means she's good at everything. Like a strong woman. That's what he's mad at. The thing is, she's not a Mary Sue at all. Once again, if instead of like immediately a conniption and rushing to the nearest fucking computer in your basement and cutting out this YouTube video, if you watched the rest of the episodes, you would recognize that she's not OP. But also beyond that, perhaps it has something to do with the lore that she is well trained. You're watching her training. This should lead you to go, why is she training so hard from such an early age? Could it be that there is a narrative reason for this? No, I'm so mad all the time.
Beta male, and also that Lucy fooled around with her cousin.
Messing around with your cousin, it's all well and good for kids, but it's not a sustainable long-term sexual practice, you know?
Who, despite being a tall, kind of more Chad-looking dude, is also a complete coward, worthless pussy. Get used to hearing that. And so the members of Vault 33...
Wait, what? Okay, these guys like unironically fantasize about like men being beta and women being powerful, I think. Yeah, dude, some of the dudes are gonna be pussies, okay? It's normal. They're in the vault. They're vault dwellers. What are you talking about? I like that he didn't even flinch at incest, by the way. He just moved past that. He's like, that's normal. Duh. That's actually the only good thing in the show.
3 meet up with the members of Vault 32, and we find out her soon-to-be husband is actually a white guy and not ugly. Shocking. But don't worry, they ruined that pretty shortly. At the wedding, Lucy asks her new husband, Monty, what his sperm count is. You know, I think I'm actually starting to like this girl. And even more based, as soon as they get back to her room, Monty strips naked and they just straight up have sex. So I guess one good thing came out of this show. But of course, everything goes to shit as the big schnoz little brother soon discovers one of the members of Vault 32 is dead and rotting. And it turns out raiders somehow got into Vault 32, killed everyone, and Lucy gets stabbed, but she manages to save her.
I genuinely don't get it. Why is he like, if he's actually 28 years old, why is he behaving like ha, there was sex, so I guess we got to see some good stuff that my mommy won't let me watch? Is this satire? This can't be real. I unironically thought this was like perfectly satirizing a neck-bearded like Redditor, but I do think he's genuinely like this stunted. It is kind of shocking. I guess that is a testament to modern medicine. Maybe there would have been a normal progress in our evolutionary standards. So maybe modern medicine has gone too far.
In the most cliche Hollywood way possible by smashing a glass on his head and then like slicing his face. She heals herself with a stim pack and then heads into the armory and grabs a fucking trank gun. I guess all the real guns were already gone. And she witnesses a bunch of her friends get horrifically murdered, men just getting the absolute shit beat out of them. The only competent males at all are the raiders, but her pregnant best friend, after getting stabbed.
The entire point is, yes, vault dwellers are pussies and not actually strong, whereas the raiders who have like had to live out there, yeah, they're violent, they're barbarians, but they're like gonna be much more powerful than the fucking vault dwellers. Also, once again, he's gonna be talking about the pregnant woman and how powerful she is. Perhaps there is a lore reason for it and not simply because she is a woman.
Stabbed in the eye with a fork, gets a hold of an SMG and starts mowing down raiders. Wow! My god, it's Wolfenstein 2 all over again. This is the cringiest shit ever, seeing pregnant women be badass. I fucking hate this propaganda. It is so transparent. Whatever, moving on. Lucy's husband turns out to still be alive and almost kills her, but her dad...
This is so funny. He's just like genuinely... You know how in the 2016 Gamergate era, there were definitely liberals who would get mad that like not everything that they were watching in their cultural consumption was up to snuff and met the standards that they wanted it to meet. So sometimes like a lot of the think pieces that were written in that era, in that time frame, were just liberals basically being like, why is there a bad character doing bad things in this show? I want them to only do good things. Like the problematic nature of Robert Downey Jr.'s blackface. Let's talk about it. That type of shit. Not understanding the fucking nuance or not understanding the point. It's very interesting that this dude is doing the reverse of that. So not only is he just as annoying, but also on top of that, he's also horrifyingly bad with his politics. So his heart is in the wrong place. His mind is in the wrong place. And this analysis is so fucking funny. He just literally is like, I only want white men to be powerful. I want women to be quiet. I just don't want anything else. It's like, bro, you just want to watch porn then. You want no plot, no subplot, no subtext. You just want like sexy white guys beating the shit out of people. He's literally upset that there are weak characters. He's upset that there are strong characters, but not in the right way. He's upset that there are weak characters. He's upset that there are non-white characters. What the fuck are you doing? There is no, like, if I were to take this seriously and go, okay, let's make your perfect movie. That would not be a movie. It would just be white on white porn. And then maybe a little bit of like white guy beating the shit out of other people.
Ed manages to save her, being the only competent male in the show, and Lucy gets to see how brutal he is, which I'm pretty sure is implying that he's been to the surface before. But all of the survivors manage to get captured anyway. We see that the Latina overseer is the real villain of the show. Yes, this middle-aged brown woman is supposed to be this mega badass evil raider we're supposed to be intimidated by. Modern media is such a joke.
Wait, he's mad that the villain is also a woman and a Latina? Like, he doesn't even fucking like when they're like in bad roles? Like, what? He doesn't even want fucking any kind of non-white individuals, like even in a villain role. Also, yeah, I think she's is she Indian? I don't think he finished the show. No, he definitely didn't finish the show. We know he didn't finish the show. He watched the first episode only in this review.
We're not even halfway through the episode, and I already don't want to watch anymore, but fuck it, let's just get through this. The raiders just kidnap the dad, and then just let the others run away as a bomb timer goes off. Oh, and Raider Bitch reveals that she knows Lucy's mom. Wow, what a mystery. I'm so intrigued. You know, it's one thing that every single TV show, movie, and now video game has a diverse cast, but do you have to have every black man be a fucking pussy in modern media? You know, as harsh as I was on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, at least Barrett is a cool character, okay? You can sell me on a diverse character if they're cool, if they just...
Who has to sell you on anything? Like, he doesn't like the remaster because they didn't turn him white? Like, that's what he wanted in the remaster? Shitting on diversity in my mommy's basement. Ridiculous. This is a perfect example of modern day racism. No, dog. This is a perfect example of 18th century racism. My man did time traveler racism. I keep saying 1830s because of Taylor Swift.
And yeah, so he gets hazed by all the other Brotherhood of Steel initiates, and he gets saved by a trans man. I'm not joking, dude. There's probably gonna be some coping and seething, but no, that is not a tomboy. That is not a...
Are they trans? I don't think anyone said that in the whole show. No, they are. And I'm pretty sure they are like non-binary in the show too. Yeah, I think like the actor is non-binary, but I also think that the elder cleric once refers to them as they them, like with they them pronouns.
And she's more of a man than Maximus is. This is fucking embarrassing. Whatever. Anyway, moving on. I have to get through this, guys. I can't take it anymore. Everything I love has been destroyed. Let's just fast forward through the rest of this episode. We see some Brotherhood Knights in T60 power armor show up, and I don't know, it looks okay. I know some people are like, it looks like shitty cosplay. I think the costumes look okay. It's when there's CGI that it looks bad. Back at Vault 33, Lucy tries to get the council to send out a search party for her dad, but the fat black soy jack on the council is too chicken shit, as is the rest of them. And so Lucy teams up with Big Schnoz and Sweet Home Alabama to leave the vault themselves. Of course, her brother, being a massive pussy, won't go with her. Her cousin actually wants to, but she knows he's incredibly incompetent and also a coward, so she tranks him and leaves the vault by herself. Now, this is where the show jumps the shark. We find out that Vault 33 is located next to Venice Beach, in the heart of the Boneyard. Now, if you know anything about Fallout lore, you would know that the NCR dominated this territory, brought civilization back to it. There is no way in hell that Vault 33 was not contacted over the course of 100 years. And of course, to address the elephant in the room, LA itself is a massive wasteland, like a featureless desert. What happened to the NCR? Well, at the time of me recording this,
yeah, I feel like if you don't watch the show, and you watch one episode of the show, then you're probably not going to understand what happened. But, you know, called it Hardcore New Vegas Nerd. One of the more prominent writers on the New Vegas game was actually like pretty hardcore lefty, Josh Sawyer.
I was spoiled of future episodes. And apparently Shady Sands got nuked 4 years before the events of Fallout New Vegas. Yeah, that's how you know the showrunners didn't do the research, and yet this show's canon. It's totally canon, guys, that the capital of the NCR got nuked before New Vegas. Yet it was never mentioned, and it's more than established that the NCR dominated California and brought civilization back. Fuck this show. Fuck Todd Howard. Fuck Amazon. Bethesda is so beyond dead to me, it's insane. Everyone who likes Fallout 4 gets exactly what they fucking deserve with this show. What blows my mind is there's people who actually thought Starfield was going to be good. And even though the NCR capital was nuked, that doesn't explain how the Boneyard turned into a giant desert wasteland. But it's as simple as the showrunners didn't care. This is not made for the fans. This is made for normies who have heard of Fallout. It's made for women who won't even watch the show. And most importantly, it's made as a humiliation ritual. They will destroy everything you love, and you will do nothing about it. At best,
Not even consuming treats, but instead getting mad at the treats for not fitting your standards. That's the only thing that like gives me a little bit of joy and a little bit of confidence that this shit is never gonna fucking launch off again. Even though the fucking neoliberals in charge are doing their very best, operate on fascist boundaries regardless. It's pretty funny. Like, it's just your major output is your organizational capacity starts and ends at crying about a fucking video game rendition that didn't suit all of your needs perfectly. You are such a pathetic, wormish loser, dude. These guys never bring out their best. I think this dude just loves Fallout New Vegas, doesn't understand the meta, and does not understand, like, and is just like religiously hyper focusing on the New Vegas lore and basing everything off of the New Vegas lore. Check out his post in the community tab for why he banned people disagreeing with him despite being a free speech Andy. If you're a fellow noticer, you may have noticed that the Fallout review is getting brigaded by shills and leftist ideologues. This is nothing new to this channel, but I've decided to do something I resisted for 4 years, actually banning people. This will no doubt be highly controversial, but I think it's time. I do think I owe you an explanation, though, because I know some of you are hard free speech advocates. No one is, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? Of course no one is a hard free speech advocate. You guys are just purely coping. You want a hug box just like everybody else does. I'm sure that after watching this, he will turn around and be like, look how much I made him mauled. You did not. The world is not going to be redesigned to your goals. I don't even think you want the world to be redesigned to suit your needs and your demands anyway. You're literally crying about a fucking video game rendition. It is very, very sad. Anyway, the thing is, the irony is, like, in the perfectly designed world that he thinks he would thrive in, he would be thrown in a fucking pile for being a morally degenerate pervert who enjoys playing video games and does not represent the Ubermensch at all.
And for the final scene of the episode, we wrap back around to Walton Goggins as we see a few mercenaries dig up his corpse. Oh god, here we go again. Pete Hines has been vindicated. For those of you who don't know, there is a unmarked quest in Fallout 4 where you find a ghoul child who's been locked in like a fridge or something. I can't even really remember. The child has been in there for 200 years with no food or water, and you reunite him with his parents who are also ghouls. It's quite possibly the dumbest quest in any RPG of all time, and rightfully, fans pointed out how stupid it was, how it's been established in the original games that ghouls...
Dude, I don't who cares, bro? Who cares? It's like, dude. The fuck do you mean? My immersion. Like, it's so weird. What are you talking about, bro? Your immersion? They're ghouls. This level of fucking resentment and anger over like one specific shitty, or not even shitty, but like one specific cute side quest is insane. I'm sorry, big dog. I don't think this is about Fallout. I think this is about you, okay? This anger is not directed to Fallout. It's directed to every single glaringly obvious failure that you have brought about yourself in your entire fucking life. The show is objectively popular, and also the game has become more popular as a consequence of that. So you failed on every front, dude. How can you be this big of a fucking failure? Legitimately shocking.
Honestly, Fallout's been dead to me since Fallout 4 released, and to even more fans after 76. So while yes, I did get kind of angry over certain things in this show, you know, sometimes I ham things up for the reviews. I honestly don't care that much. I'm just tired of propaganda being shoved in my
Yeah, no, totally, dude. It seems like you're totally fine, actually. You're just hamming it up a little bit. He's not even angry, by the way. I love that he ended this with a fucking troll face like, I'm not actually mad. I trolled you guys. I'm actually not upset at all. I just wanted to draw emotion out of you. I'm so cool in Sigma. It's like, bro, if a black woman causes you to hyperventilate in a beloved television, in a television show that is like actually very successful and very popular, and it causes you to make a 20-minute video on it, it's just, you're a very sad person overall.